fuel surcharge helps, but I feel it's not enough. Meaningless pennies thrown to shut up at the problem. Uber Eats 35 cents is useless too. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to the RideShare Guy. And we all know gas prices are absolutely crazy. We've been covering this topic and trying to give you tips and tricks on how to save money at the pump, different apps that you can use to make sure you're paying less than what you see, and what drivers are doing differently when it comes to driving for these companies like Uber, Uber Eats, Lyft, Doordash, etc. So we asked a poll and we wanted to get your feedback on what you might be doing differently now that gas prices have been high for quite a while and Uber and Lyft and Doordash and a couple others are adding fuel surcharges. How has it changed or impacted your driving? Well, we asked you and we're going to share your results right now. All right, so let's go over the results to the poll questions we had asked. The first one that you see on the screen right now says, now that Uber, Lyft, and delivery companies have added fuel surcharges for drivers, are you driving more, less, or the same? And if you haven't answered the poll, but you want to answer some of the questions, feel free to in the comments below. All right, so what you see, for people who said there's no change, they're still driving the same amount, that's at 43%. So almost half of the drivers still out on the road are driving the exact same. 14% they're actually driving more, 30% said they're driving less, and 13% said they're quitting altogether. So it brings up a good question. When you're out on the road driving, are you noticing that there's less drivers on the road? Meaning, are you having less downtime? Are you getting more? What's going on out there in your market? Comment below, let us know. All right, now let's go to the second one that we asked, and it says, overall, I am satisfied with the Uber fuel surcharge that was announced, either 45 or 55 cents per trip. 22% said strongly disagree, 17% said somewhat disagree, 33% said neither agree or disagree, and then 23% said somewhat agree, and 5% said strongly agree. Well, overall, what are your thoughts and opinions on this? Are you satisfied with the fuel surcharge being added and getting that money to help offset some of your fuel costs? Or do you think that it's not good enough? Well, share your thoughts below. But when you break down the numbers, 33% said, well, we agree or disagree, it doesn't really matter, at least we're getting something. The 39% say it's not enough, and the remaining say we're happy with it. So you can see it's kind of split between where, yeah, it could be either or, and it just kind of depends. All right, and now let's check out the third poll question that we had asked you. And as you see on the screen right now, it says, overall, I am satisfied with the Lyft fuel surcharge that was announced. 55 cents per trip plus increased cash back on gas purchases using the Lyft debit card. Now, 24% said they strongly disagree. 18% said that they somewhat disagree. 36% said neither agree nor disagree. 18% said somewhat agree. And then 3% say that they strongly agree with the Lyft fuel surcharge. Now, looking at both the results for both the Uber fuel surcharge question and also the Lyft surcharge question, they're very similar in terms of the amount of numbers when you had responded. And I got to say, I would probably have to agree with that because even though Lyft's might be a little bit better with these increased cash back when it comes to using a Lyft debit card, I don't have a Lyft debit card, so I can't get those increased cash back, and I'm not planning on getting one. So unfortunately, it's not going to affect me. And I think for the people who are disagreeing with what Lyft has done when it comes to our poll result, I think that's probably pretty much safe to say that they don't have the Lyft debit card either, so they can't take advantage of that particular part of the program. Well, what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree with what I had just said, or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. All right, and no poll would be complete without being able to share additional feedback. And obviously, any feedback that you have when it comes to these surcharges, please feel free to put it in the comments below. All right, so let's look at it and says, please share any additional feedback around Uber and Lyft's fuel surcharge. So we said, with gas prices at an all-time high, it's a slap in the face that both companies are still taking 60% of the fare. The rates need to change, and the fuel charge needs to be a permanent thing. 55 cents is a joke. Should be more like 55 cents plus 9 to 12 cents a mile. That's what the average car costs to drive a mile for gas. Another comment said, we deal in miles, pay us for miles. Another comment says 50 cents or 55 cents surcharges don't help whatsoever and frankly is an insult, which just add to my frustrations with Uber. Another comment says, I think it should be a % of the fare or give us per mile rate. Long rides are an issue with the flat amount per ride. Overall, the rate is too low. Last comment that we'll read says, Lyft waited too long to implement any assistance. As always, they're following Uber. Uber should charge fuel costs based on the percentage of the ride, not a flat fee per ride. So what you see is a lot of people are saying that, yeah, what has to happen is this needs to go back to the drawing board and it should be a per ride fee based on a percentage of the ride or a per mile fee based on the length of the trip, because there are different durations and lengths of trips. Not every trip is short. Some trips are very long. Some trips are between cities. And you could be driving for an hour, hour and a half, and that's only 55 cents extra. Well, there's an issue there. So a lot of drivers don't like that, and that's reflected in our comments when it came to this poll. I'm sure what we'll probably see in some of the comments in the video, and just how the poll results were interpreted. So again, share any of your feedback that you have when it comes down to it on what you think would be better, a better option, and if you're driving more, less, or the same, let us know in the comments below. Now, if gas is still a hurdle for you and you're looking for ways to help lower that cost a little bit, or at least offset it, check out this video right here where we gave 45 tips on how you can help at the pump or even increase your fuel mileage on your car. Also, make sure to subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and drive safe, everybody.